What is the one word that can describe all the things, all the stories, all the art that you gravitate towards? Welcome to the Eldritch Collection. My name is Aaron Peterson, and I will be your curator. Eldritch, an adjective. Strange or unnatural, especially in a way that inspires fear. The word was first seen 500 years ago, deriving from an Old English word that literally meant elf kingdom. The word has always meant strange or otherworldly, but historically the connotation was more whimsical and magical, more elf-like. It wasn't really until the early 20th century with H.P. Lovecraft and his pulp horror contemporaries that the word gained its more sinister and scary connotations. I personally didn't start reading Lovecraft until a couple years ago, and as I was going through his complete works, the word Eldritch just jumped off the pages at me whenever I saw it. I began to associate the weird feeling I got whenever I read his stories to that word. As I started to recognize that Eldritch feeling in other works of art and literature, I began to realize that this word crystallizes my sort of like vague, amorphous interest in fantasy, sci-fi, horror, dark art, and the strange. You see, I wouldn't call myself a true horror fan because I don't like to get scared. I feel that it's often gratuitous or silly, but there are many horror films that are more mysterious, more fantastical, with complex, interesting monsters that I really enjoy. I can't say that I'm fully invested in fantasy either, because truth be told, my favorite characters are always the villains. I always, enjoyed watching the scenes with the Nazgul and the Balrog a lot more than, anything that happened in the elf cities. Ironic, because those cities are literally eldritch. And with sci-fi, again, I prefer the darker stuff. Star Trek is fun every once in a while, but I would never call it one of my favorite sci-fi films. And so that's why my passion is, and always kind of has been, the dark in-betweens of all these different genres. And when it comes to artwork, I do like the strange and the bizarre, but there needs to be some form, there needs to be some dark implications as to what those forms are. I don't like abstract modern art for the sake of abstract modern art, but if there's something there that just captures that feeling, then I love it. The stories and the art that I love need to be strange and unnatural, especially in a way that inspires fear. It needs to be dark, it needs to be weird, it needs to be eldritch. Thank you, and I'll see you next week.